Have you ever felt the world was against you? That no matter how hard you try, life keeps knocking you down? This is the story of Lucy, a young girl betrayed by those who should have loved her, abandoned to suffer, and pushed to the very edge of hopelessness. But what happens when faith, patience, and destiny collide? Brace yourself, because Lucy's life will show you that even in the darkest moments, a miracle can happen. Lucy was just 17 when her mother died after a short sickness. Her father, Mr. Henry, tried to comfort her, but 2 years later he married another woman, Madame Diana. Diana already had a daughter, Kate, from her first marriage. At first, Lucy was happy to have a stepsister. She thought maybe life wouldn't feel so lonely. But she was wrong. From the very first day Diana and Kate came into their house, Lucy noticed the way they looked at her, like she was nothing. Mr. Henry loved his daughter, but he was a busy man who traveled a lot for work. Every time he was away, Lucy became nothing but a servant in her own father's house. "Lucy, sweep this floor again," Kate would shout, even though it was spotless. "Go and wash my clothes," Diana commanded, while scrolling through her phone. Lucy swallowed her tears and obeyed. If she dared complain, Diana snapped. "You're eating in my house, so you must work. Don't forget your father is my husband now." When Mr. Henry returned from a trip, Lucy rushed into his arms. "Daddy, I suffer in this house whenever you're not here," she whispered. But Diana twisted her words with fake tears. "Darling, she refuses to do chores and is trying to turn you against us." Kate nodded quickly. "Daddy, she insults us every day. She doesn't respect Mummy or me." To Lucy's shock, her father believed them. "Lucy, I don't want complaints again. Respect your stepmother and sister." Her heart shattered. The one person she trusted chose their lies. From that day, Lucy bore her pain in silence. As the years passed, the mistreatment got worse. Kate became more beautiful and arrogant, always wearing the latest fashion, going to parties, and boasting about her rich friends. Lucy, on the other hand, wore old clothes and palms because Diana refused to buy her anything new. Things got worse when Mr. Henry suddenly collapsed one morning and died before they could get to the hospital. The news shattered Lucy. She was broken, pouring out her pain through tears. Her father had been her only shield. With him gone, she was now at the mercy of her stepmother. At the funeral, relatives whispered, "Who will take care of this girl now?" But before anyone could help, Diana said confidently, "Don't worry, Lucy is my daughter too. I will take care of her." Everyone nodded in agreement. But Lucy knew the truth. She was not her daughter. She was a prisoner. Soon after the burial, Diana showed her true self. She sold most of Mr. Henry's properties, kept the money for herself and Kate, and forced Lucy into complete slavery. "You're old enough now," Diana said coldly one morning. "If you don't like the way I treat you, pack your things and leave." "But where will you go?" "You're nothing without me," she said mockingly. Kate laughed. "Better stay here, wash our clothes, cook our food, and clean our house. That's your destiny." Lucy bowed her head and hid her tears. She had no one to run to. All her relatives lived far away, and none cared. She was trapped. One evening, Lucy came back from the market after a long day. She heard Kate laughing loudly with her friends. "See, my dear," Kate bragged, "a big party is happening this weekend at City Lounge. All the rich guys will be there. That's where I'll meet my future husband. As for my stepsister Lucy..." She looked at Lucy standing quietly at the door. "Who will want a dirty poor girl like her?" Her friends laughed loudly. Lucy was hurt by those words. She wanted to talk back, but her voice failed. She walked away, holding her bucket tightly to hide her trembling hands. The humiliation continued every day until one night, everything changed. Kate came into Lucy's small room with a mischievous smile. "Lucy," she said sweetly, pretending to care, "I have a surprise for you." Lucy frowned. "What is it?" she asked in a calm voice. "You've never been with a man before, right?" Kate asked mockingly. Lucy turned away in embarrassment. "Leave me alone, Kate," she murmured in a low but sad tone. But Kate continued, "Don't worry, I've arranged something special for you. A man is waiting for you tonight. You'll go and meet him and enjoy yourself. Just one night. After that, maybe he will even take care of you." Lucy's eyes widened in shock, surprised to hear such words coming out from her own sister's mouth. "What are you saying?" Her voice ran out. "How can you even think of such a thing, not to talk of sending me to a stranger? I can't do that." Before she could resist, Madame Diana entered. "Shut up, Lucy. Listen to your sister and do as she says. Don't be ungrateful. You think it's easy eating my food in this house? A young girl like you should have someone to look after you. Who knows, maybe this man will like you." Lucy couldn't believe those shameful words also coming out from the person that called herself her stepmother. It sounded like they had both planned and concluded on it, even before Kate came to tell her. She shook her head violently. "No, Mummy, please, I don't want to go. I'm not that kind of girl." But Diana's eyes hardened. "Then you'll leave my house tonight. Go and sleep on the street." Fear gripped Lucy. She had nowhere to go and no one to run to. She knelt down begging her stepmother with tears in her eyes, but Madame Dina only told her, "You have only two options, Lucy. Go or leave my house this same night." Lucy's world shattered. She cried and pleaded even more, but her plea fell on deaf ears. Finally, she felt vulnerable and defeated. Trembling, she whispered in a shaky voice, "All right. I'll go." Kate clapped in victory. "Good girl. Don't worry, it's just one night. What's the worst that can happen? You'll only enjoy yourself." Her lips curled into a mocking smile. That night, Lucy's heart pounded and her legs felt heavy as she followed Kate out of the compound. The streets were dark, and the harmattan wind blew dust into her eyes. Kate walked ahead confidently in her shiny dress, while Lucy followed behind in the old faded gown Diana had forced her to wear. "Kate, please, where exactly is this place we're going?" Lucy whispered nervously. Kate smiled. "Don't ask too many questions. Just know the man you're about to meet is not poor. If you are lucky, he may even give you money after sleeping with you. At least then, you won't look like the beggar that you are." She laughed wickedly. Lucy's chest tightened, her steps slowed. I don't want money from any man, Kate. Please let me go back," she whispered. Kate stopped suddenly and turned sharply. "Go back? Do you want me to tell Mommy you disobeyed us? Of course you already know she'll throw you out tonight if you disobey. You'll sleep under the bridge like a dog. Is that what you want?" Lucy shook her head quickly. Fear took over. She had no choice but to keep walking. "Good," Kate nodded. "Now keep quiet and keep walking." They soon reached a small hotel on the edge of town. Bright neon lights flashed at the entrance, and loud music played out. Men and women laughed, drank, and danced. Lucy froze at the gate, her heart pounding. "Kate, wait, please, I can't go in there," she begged. But Kate rolled her eyes. "Stop embarrassing me. The man is waiting for you in room 12. Just go in, do what he asks, and by morning you'll be free." Tears filled Lucy's eyes. She spoke in a heartbreaking tone. "Kate, please. I am your sister. You shouldn't be doing this to me." Kate leaned close, and her next words broke Lucy. "No, you're not. You've always acted like you are better than me. Daddy loved you more. Everyone pitied you because your mother died. Tonight, I will prove you are nothing. Just a toy to be used and forgotten." With that, she pushed Lucy toward the door. Inside the hotel, the air smelled of alcohol and smoke. Lucy felt dizzy as she climbed the narrow stairs. Every step felt like walking toward her own grave. She stopped in front of room 12, her hands shaking. She wanted to run or ebb and vanish from the world, but Diana's warning echoed in her mind. "Leave this house tonight if you refuse." She took a deep breath and knocked. The door opened slowly. A tall man stood there, dressed neatly in a black shirt. His face was calm but unreadable. He looked at her for a long moment before stepping aside. "Come in," he said with a deep voice. Lucy's legs refused to move. She stared at the ground, trembling. "Are you deaf?" the man asked, firmer this time. Lucy swallowed hard and stepped inside. The room was dimly lit, with a single bed lamp stand by the bedside. She stood by the door, refusing to look up. "What's your name?" the man asked. "Lucy," she whispered. He nodded slowly and poured himself a glass of wine. The silence was unbearable. The sound of his glass against the table made her jerk. "You don't have to be afraid," he he said finally. Just relax. It's only for tonight. His words made Lucy's knees weak. Tears came, but she blinked them back. She didn't want him to see her cry. That night, the stranger made love to her, making her cry. In the morning, Lucy left the hotel. Her gown was crumpled, her hair messy, and her heart shattered. She walked barefoot down the quiet street, holding her shoes in her hand. Every step was heavy with shame. She couldn't believe what had happened. She wanted to wash herself 1,000 times to erase it, but she knew it would never go away. When she got home, Kate waited by the gate with a cruel smile. "So, how was it?" Kate mocked. "Did you enjoy your night?" Lucy's eyes burned with tears. "You are wicked, Kate. God will judge you," she blurted. Kate laughed, pointing a finger. "Judge me? Ha ha ha. At least now I know the truth. You're not different from other girls. You can act holy, but one night was enough to break you. Don't forget, Lucy, I own your secret now." Before Lucy could speak, Madame Diana's voice came from inside. "Lucy, why are you standing there like a thief? Come in and work." Lucy entered quietly, with a broken spirit. She didn't sleep that night. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying the painful memories. The next morning, Diana handed her a long list of chores. Go to the market, sweep the compound, wash the clothes, and don't forget to clean the toilet. "Lazy girl," she barked. Lucy carried out the tasks silently, hiding her pain. Nobody in the house cared that she was suffering. Nobody asked how she felt in that hotel room that night. When she passed the mirror in the sitting room, she saw her reflection. Her eyes were red, her face looked pale, and her spirit was empty. She touched her stomach and whispered in pain, "God, please come for me." Days turned into weeks. Lucy tried to forget that night, but Kate never let her. "Lucy, don't annoy me," Kate would threaten. "If you do, I'll tell everyone about the night you spent with that stranger. They will see who you really are. They'll know you're nothing but a cheap girl who gives her body to men." Lucy lived in constant fear and shame. She avoided her neighbors, her friends, and anyone who might ask questions. But no matter how much she tried to bury the memory, life had already begun to change inside her in ways she could not yet understand. Weeks passed, and still, Lucy could not forget that night. Every morning she woke with a heavy heart, and every night she prayed for the day to end quickly. Kate, on the other hand, became even bolder. She no longer hid her wickedness. Whenever they were alone, she would whisper words that cut Lucy to the bone. "You think anybody will marry you now? You are already a rotten good. Even if you dress like a saint, I know your secret. One word from me and you're finished." Lucy closed her eyes, trying not to cry. Inside, she felt like she was drowning. One afternoon, Lucy overheard two women by the roadside. "Have you heard? Diana's stepdaughter is at our lot. They say she spends nights in hotels." The second gasped, and she pretends to be innocent. No wonder her stepmother never praises her." Lucy froze, her legs weak, tears burning her eyes. She ran past them, heart pounding. That evening she confronted Kate. "You told people lies about me. You destroyed my name." Kate smirked, filing her nails. "Lies? I only told the truth. Didn't you enter that hotel? Didn't you sleep with him? Not me." Lucy's voice trembled with anger. "You and your mother forced me." Kate leaned close, her voice like poison. "Tell the world if you like. Nobody will believe you. Everyone already thinks you're a cheap girl." Lucy staggered back, clutching her chest. Her whole world shattered again. From that day, life in the neighborhood changed. When she went to the market, women whispered behind her back. When she walked to church, people avoided sitting near her. Even children laughed mockingly and called her names on the street. Madame Diana only made things worse. "I don't know what to do with this girl," she would complain loudly to visitors. "She has no respect, no dignity. Imagine sneaking out at night to disgrace my family. Sleeping with men here and there. I have suffered enough." The visitors would shake their heads. "Auntie, you are trying. God will reward you for tolerating her." Lucy would stand in the corner, tears streaming down her face, unable to defend herself. One morning, she woke up feeling weak. Her stomach turned and she ran outside to vomit. She thought maybe it was food poisoning, but the sickness returned the next day. And the next. Weeks later, her fear grew. She counted the weeks. Her hands trembled. She had missed her monthly visitor and could no longer deny it. She was pregnant. Her world collapsed instantly. She sat alone in her small room, hugging her knees. Oh God, no. Please, not this. What will I do? Where will I go? How can I raise a child when I am treated like a slave? Her tears soaked her pillow. When Diana and Kate discovered the truth, they rejoiced in her misery. So it's true, Diana mocked. You've been sneaking around with men. Now you carry shame in your womb. You have brought disgrace to my house. Mama, I told you she was useless, Kate added, laughing. Look at her now, pregnant and hopeless. Who will even claim this child? Lucy collapsed to her knees, weeping. I swear I had never slept with any other man except that night. You both pushed me into it. You forced me to that hotel. Diana's hand landed on Lucy's cheek, slapping her hard across the face. Shut your mouth. You think anybody will believe such a story? Forced you? Ha ha ha, who will pity you? You are finished, Lucy. Finished. The news soon spread all over. Within days, the whole neighborhood was buzzing. Have you heard? That girl Lucy is pregnant. No husband, no father for the baby. Ah, such a shame. Her life is completely damaged. She will never rise in life again. She's just like her mother. Her mother died young too. Bad luck runs in their blood. The words cut Lucy deep wherever she went. At the well, at the market, even on the road. People she once greeted with smiles now looked at her with disgust. Lucy stopped going to church. She stopped visiting the market. She stayed indoors most of the time, hiding from the world. But even at home, she could not find peace. Diana made her do heavy chores despite her pregnancy. Pregnancy is not sickness, she barked. Wash those clothes, scrub that floor, don't be lazy here. Kate added her own cruelty. She would laugh loudly whenever Lucy passed, pointing at her growing stomach. Look at you, carrying shame around. No man will ever marry you now. You'll raise that child alone, like a beggar. Every word felt painful and hurting. At night she cried herself to sleep, whispering, God, please, don't let me die like this. Show me mercy, please come to my aid. One day, when she was almost 5 months pregnant, Diana called her into the sitting room. Lucy, listen carefully, she said coldly. You cannot stay in this house and bring shame to me. Pack your things. By tomorrow morning, you are leaving. Lucy's mouth fell open. Mommy, please, where will I go? I have no one out there. Please don't send me away. Diana's eyes narrowed. Don't call me Mommy. I am not your mother. Where you go is not my problem. Go and meet the man who got you pregnant. Let him take care of you. Oh, wait, she laughed bitterly. You don't even know who he is, do you? Kate clapped her hands, laughing loudly. Yes, go and look for your mystery baby father in the streets. Maybe you'll find him drinking at one of those cheap bars or hotels. Lucy fell to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Please, I beg you, don't throw me out. I will do anything. Just don't abandon me. But their laughter only grew louder. Lucy packed her small bag. Tears soaked her clothes. For the first time in her life, she had no roof over her head, no family to call her own, and no hope for tomorrow. That night, Lucy dragged her small bag along the cold, empty road. The harmattan wind stung her face, and her pregnant belly felt heavier with each step. At the junction, she sat on her bag, hugging herself. Where will I sleep tonight? She whispered, tears streaming. The street bustled with noise, yet nobody noticed her. By midnight, it was silent, and she lay on the bare ground, shivering, mosquitoes biting her skin. She sobbed, Daddy, if only you were still alive. At dawn, she rose weakly, dusted her dress, and kept walking. Days turned into the same struggle, begging for food, washing plates, sleeping in half-built houses. Some pitied her, others spat, shameless girl, pregnant without a husband. Still, she pressed her stomach and whispered, Don't worry, my child. Even if the world rejects us, I will not abandon you. One evening, after working all day, washing dishes at a roadside booker, Lucy sat by the gutter, counting the little money she had earned. Suddenly, a group of young men approached, laughing and pointing. See this one forming innocent that time, one mocked. See her belly now, full like watermelon, another added. Before she could react, one of them snatched her money and ran off. Lucy screamed and chased them, but her weak body couldn't keep up. She collapsed on the ground, holding her stomach and sobbing. Passers-by shook their heads but walked away. Nobody came to help. That night, she wandered aimlessly until she reached a small church. The doors were open and soft prayers could be heard. Desperate, she entered and sat quietly at the back. An elderly woman in a white scarf noticed her and came closer. "My daughter, are you all right?" the woman asked. Lucy shook her head. Tears poured from her eyes. "Mama, I have nowhere to go. I have nobody. Please, let me rest here tonight." The woman nodded gently. "All right, you can stay, but only for the night. Tomorrow you must find your way again. May God show you mercy." Lucy curled up on the wooden bench, whispering, "God, please don't forget me." Weeks passed, and Lucy's condition worsened. Her feet were swollen, and she often felt dizzy. She barely had enough to eat, surviving on scraps from food vendors. One afternoon, while resting by the roadside, she noticed a shiny black Jeep pull up nearby. A well-dressed young man stepped out, talking on his phone. He looked important and rich. Lucy's heart pounded. There was something about him, his voice, his posture, that stirred a memory deep inside her. But she quickly shook it off. The man glanced briefly in her direction, his eyes softened for a moment as if he recognized her pain. Then he looked away and continued moving. Lucy sighed. "Rich people don't care about people like me. I am invisible," she murmured. By the time her pregnancy reached 8 months, Lucy's suffering had become unbearable. She no longer had strength to do menial jobs. Some nights she went to bed hungry, holding her stomach and praying her baby would survive. One stormy evening, she took shelter under a shed near the bus park. Rain fell heavily, soaking her clothes. Thunder roared above as lightning lit up the dark sky. A young woman selling roasted corn nearby looked at her with pity. "Auntie, come sit close to the fire before you freeze," she offered. Lucy thanked her softly and sat down, feeling warmth for the first time in days. "You don't look fine," the corn seller said. "Are you sure you will manage with this baby?" Lucy forced a smile. "I will try. I have no choice." The woman shook her head. "God will help you," Lucy whispered. "I hope so." But even in her lowest moments, Diana and Kate's shadow still haunted her. The memory of everything she went through in their hands still broke her. She couldn't imagine that those she called family that were supposed to love her as one were the ones who pushed her into this situation to die in it. That night, Lucy lay in an unfinished building. The rain dripped through the leaking roof. Her body shivered with cold and her heart ached with sorrow. But somewhere deep inside her, she tried to be strong. She placed her hand on her stomach and whispered, "My child, they want me to die, but I will not. For your sake, I will fight. I will love you." She closed her eyes, crying deeply in pain and sorrow. But even with those words ringing in her, she still felt totally broken and scared if she'll survive all of this. Her 9th month of pregnancy came with storms. Her body was weak, and she barely had strength to walk. One hot afternoon, she suddenly felt a sharp pain shoot across her stomach. She fell down, holding her belly. Passers-by rushed to her side. "She's in labor," a woman shouted. "Somebody call Kiki, let's take her to the hospital," another added. Lucy's vision blurred as the pain grew stronger. Her legs gave way and she collapsed into the arms of 2 strangers. When she woke hours later, she was lying in a clean hospital bed. A nurse smiled warmly at her and said, "Congratulations, madam. You have a healthy baby boy." Lucy's heart swelled with relief. She reached for her child. Tears of joy and sorrow flowed from her eyes all together. "My son, my only hope," she whispered, kissing his tiny forehead. But her happiness was short-lived. The nurse soon explained, "Your bill is high. If you don't pay within 2 days, the management may not release you or the baby." Lucy's stomach dropped. She had no money, no family, no one to turn to. She hugged her baby tightly and cried, weeping from the bottom part of her heart and hoping that a miracle could just happen. But instead, she was left more shattered. Her body was weak due to hunger, and the memories of everything came crashing on her again. The next morning, a knock sounded at her door. A tall man entered, dressed neatly in a navy blue suit. Lucy froze, and her eyes widened. She looked at the man standing tight there. To her greatest shock, it was the stranger from that night. the very one who had been the cause of everything that she'd faced, just because of that one night. Her heart pounded wildly. She remembered his face, his voice. But the man looked just as shocked to see her too. He took a deep breath and stepped closer. "You?" Lucy stammered. "Yes," he replied quietly. "I am the one." The room fell silent. Lucy trembled. "Why are you here? Did you come to laugh at me too?" The stranger shook his head. "No, I came because this child," he glanced at the baby in her arms, "is mine." Lucy's whole body shook. Her lips parted, but no words came. Finally, for the first time, he introduced himself. "My name is Desmond. I'm not just anybody, Lucy. I'm the CEO of DM Holdings." That night, I was emotionally unstable and drunk. My friends pushed me into a reckless mistake. After that, I thought I would never see you again. But when I found out you were in this hospital, I knew God had given me a second chance to make things right. Lucy's head spun. "CEO, a billionaire, you?" She repeated. Desmond nodded. "Yes, and I will not deny my blood. This child is mine, and you," he looked directly into her eyes. "You will never suffer again, I promise." Tears spilled down Lucy's face. She held her baby tighter. For the first time in years, she felt a spark of hope. Within hours, Desmond cleared all her hospital bills. He moved her into a luxurious apartment in the city, with maids to care for her and the baby. Lucy could hardly believe her eyes. From sleeping in gutters and unfinished buildings, she was now surrounded by marble floors and luxury. She whispered to her child, "Son, you're a blessing. May God continue to bless the day you came to me." But the story was not over. News of her transformation spread quickly back to Diana and Kate. "It can never be," Diana shouted when she heard. "Lucy, the useless girl, now living with a billionaire, it's only in the dream." Kate's mouth hung open in disbelief. "It's not possible. That bushrat, that beggar, how nah?" They made their findings and rushed to Desmond's mansion. When they saw that everything they heard was true, their hearts shattered to pieces and they fell down pretending to care. Diana cried fake tears. "Lucy, my daughter, forgive us. We didn't mean to hurt you. We were just afraid for your future." Kate added sweetly, Yes, sis, we are family. Please don't take anything we've ever done personal. It was only the handwork of the devil." Lucy looked at them with cold, steady eyes. For years they had made her feel worthless. For years they had laughed at her pain. Now the tables had turned. "You called me nothing," she said slowly. "You threw me into the street when I needed you most. What if I had died, But luckily I survived, and today I am not the same Lucy. I don't need you anymore. You already rejected me as a family then, and now I reject you too." Diana's knees went weak. Kate's face burned with shame. Desmond stepped forward and spoke firmly. "Please leave. Lucy has a new family now, and if you dare trouble her again, you will regret it." They left humiliated and shattered in their own pride. Months later, after their wedding, Lucy stood in the grand hall of her new family's dedication ceremony. She looked around at the prestigious cheering crowd. Her heart overflowed with gratitude. From a helpless orphan and rejected stepsister, she had become a woman of honor, wealth, and influence. She lifted her son high in her arms and declared, "Friends, ladies and gentlemen in the house, no matter how much the world rejects you, God can still raise you above your enemies. Never give up, even when life pushes you to the ground." The hall erupted in applause. That night, as she sat on the balcony of her mansion, watching the stars, Desmond joined her. He held her hand gently. "My love," he said softly, "I know I can't erase the pain of your past, but I promise, as long as I live, you will never cry alone again." Lucy smiled through tears. For the first time, she felt safe. For the first time, she felt loved. And deep inside, she knew her life had truly changed forever. Lovelies, patience, endurance, and faith can turn the darkest night into the brightest morning. Those who mock you today may one day live to envy your testimony. Never give up, because your story can change in a single moment. What do you think about Lucy's story? Do you believe life can turn from shame to glory like this? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read them. And if you want more powerful and emotional African stories, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe